Black Panther in its run, it might end as being the most financially successful movie for a studio ever. That's right, of all time. BBN, Jack Frost, what's up, party people? Hey, before the video even continue, hit that like button, subscribe, and join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. Alright, okay, so most might not know this, but it seems that Black Panther might be the most financially successful movie ever. That's right, ever. I know what you're saying. You're like, well, it just crossed $1 billion, and there's been plenty of movies that have previously crossed $1 billion, and on top of that, have made more than, Black Panther currently has performed at. I get it. So Black Panther's crossed $1 billion, but the final numbers that I got that I can, so I'm gonna work off the final numbers that I got, even though that I know for a fact that it's made more than this so far, is the like $908 million, right? So let's work off those numbers for a second. Domestically, Black Panther has made 500 million, and internationally, it's made for 100 million, right? But think about it like this. When Black Panther goes to an international theater, the studio makes less money. You understand what I'm saying? You have to pay more money, or it's just that you get less of a return from a ticket sale in freaking London than you do from a ticket sale in Alabama. And quite frankly, since, that girl came out talking about how much she hate black people, I wouldn't be surprised if Alabama is one of the least, one of the markets that's watching Black Panther the fewest. But whatever, she was from New Jersey anyway. So when you look at it like that, okay, so domestic box office, the studio makes more. I'm not 100% sure, but $500 million domestically has to be at the top. I mean, it has to be one of the top 3 to 4 films ever in the history of movies currently in the domestic box office. 500 million. So, with that being said, this absolutely verifies that not only will there be a Black Panther 2, but like I've been trying to tell people, they're going to have like a $300 million budget. Seriously. Their budget is going to be crazy. And part of the reason is, think about it. What company that, advertises their goods and their wares in movies wouldn't want to be part of a theatrical experience where they're pretty sure the movie's gonna make $1 billion, because Black Panthers 2 is gonna most likely make more money than Black Panther 1. At this, I mean, even though we don't even know where Black Panther 1 is gonna stop currently, it's gonna most likely make more money. So you can almost etch this in stone. Black Panther 2 is probably gonna have about a $300 million budget, and like, I don't know how much they're going to put towards CGI or whatever the case is. Nobody knows what the story is. Obviously, they haven't written it yet. But think about that. Everybody think about that. $500 million domestically. This movie is so successful that they might have to just give it an Oscar. Seriously. I'm not trying to say it's like Oscar quality stuff going on, because obviously when you think about the Oscars, you think about something a lot more artsy. Superhero movies don't usually lend itself to, getting awards for, I don't know, art. So I personally am not going to say, oh man, if they don't give Black Panther Oscar, then that means that those guys are racist. No, not at all. I'm not. It's a great movie, but I don't think it's a movie in the fold of a in the mold of a Get Out, or just something that has more depth. You understand what I'm saying? Like Black Panther, it has depth. Don't get it confused, but it's not like a artsy type of depth. You understand what I'm saying? It's a lot of these Oscar-winning movies aren't as accessible as Black Panther is, and that's one of the reasons in which why it's so. It's such a phenomenon. You understand what I'm saying? It's so accessible. I was watching something the other day. I was watching Fat Guy on the Batman, or Batman on, I don't know how that goes. Fat Guy on the Fat Guy. I don't know how the show goes. But it's the dude from Jay and Silent Bob. I forget his name. So, and the guy that works with him, Martin, that's crazy. I remember Martin's name. But the guy that works with him, Martin, made a point. And he said something that I had not even realized. He said that the climactic scene where the protagonist fights the antagonist, right? Where Black Panther, T'Challa, fought the Jaguar, Black Jaguar, I think that whatever you want to call him, Killmonger, was literally in the Underground Railroad. Yep, didn't even consider or think about that. And then he started bringing out a whole bunch of other little small things. Well, not small things, but things that Coogler did that you really wouldn't even recognize. You know what I'm saying? Like, your brain probably associated it without you even realizing that you associated it. Or maybe your brain didn't. But it wasn't something that you necessarily recognize the story inside of the story. Coogler's just a great director. That's just facts. He needs to get a lot more work. But let's make sure he always do Black Panther. We don't need to switch up and have somebody else do Black Panther at this point. Anyway, I just want to make this video on Black Panther is quite possibly the most financially successful movie ever in the history of movies. 500 million domestically. Think about it. Go over in China. Let's say you make a movie make $100 million in China. The studio might get like 20 million. 15 million off of that 100 million. You understand what I'm saying? Let's say a movie makes 75 million in freaking Europe. Let's say England. It makes 75 million in England, right? The studio might get like 20 million of that, 30 million of that, maybe 35. But if the studio's making like if the movie's making like 500 million domestically, the studio is getting a much piece of that pie. Quite frankly, maybe 400 million of that. You understand? It's getting a much bigger piece of that pie due to like taxes and tariffs and just deals that they make with the theaters and other countries and what's nots and having to pay. Just for everybody that doesn't know, there's only like 4 or 5 American movies going to Chinese theaters a year. Just like a thing, like seriously, where they only allow 4 or 5 American movies to go into Chinese theaters a year, period. That's it. So you can't even get into the Chinese market half of the time. Ever wonder why some of these movies just have, a random, Asian actor in it? That's one of the damn reasons. They trying to get into the Chinese theater. I'm looking at you, Last Jedi. Anyway, I want to know what you guys think about that. Seriously. I mean, 500 million domestically? That's a lot. Domestically, think about it like this: movies be doing like 300 million domestically and seen as it's did great. Oh man, that's one of the most financially successful movies of the year. It do like 300 million domestically, 250 million domestically. That's one of the most successful movies of the year. With the exception of a movie like Justice League, where the freaking it costs so much to make the movie, where if they don't make like 800, 900 million back, then they're at a loss. You understand what I'm saying? That's why Justice League, I forgot how much it made. I think it made like 675 million worldwide. But considering it only made like 300 million domestically, all that other money that they made internationally, they don't even barely see that money. That's what I'm trying to explain. That's one of the reasons why Justice League was a loss for the studio. All that money, like it made 600 and something million. I think it didn't cost 600 to make, but the investors most likely expected it to make more. And if you add on top of that to the fact that it made 600 million, but it made most of that overseas, where that's money that the studios really don't see, it was a loss. Justice League was an absolute loss. Freaking Black Panther made more domestically, made more money for the studio domestically. I'm not saying we know that the studio that Justice League makes 675 million worldwide, and Black Panther made 500 million domestically, right? Currently, while I'm speaking. Well, that's the numbers that we're going off currently. It made more than that now, but that's the numbers that we're going off. I said that at the beginning of the video. But you got to look at it like this. Domestically, Justice League made like less than 300 million. So internationally, all that rest of that money is international money. So let's say 400 million internationally, right? The studios probably get like $1 million off of that. $1.5 million. That's how much money the studio was getting off of that. Maybe 2 million. I doubt it. But maybe 2 million. Maybe. Studio lost money. It cost fucking $350 million to do the movie. You make 200 and something, let's say 300 million domestically, just to be fair. They're not going to see all that money. They see what, 225 maybe, if they're lucky. And then maybe internationally another 120, 140 million. Let's just be fair and say 200 million. So that's 450 million that it made for the studio altogether. And the movie cost 350 million to make. That's not a win. Anyway, that's all I got on this one. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Leave some comments down below. I want to know what y'all think about this. Do y'all think I'm just absolutely crazy for thinking like this? Or do you think I'm on to something? Anyway, that's all I got on this one. Love y'all. I'm out. If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. If you would like to help dictate the direction that this channel takes, please leave a comment. All comments are appreciated, whether positive or negative. Thank you very much and enjoy your day. And remember, positive thoughts cause for positive things to happen. Let's get it.